Here I am once again with a very cute and cuddly kitty in a very small space trying to record a video. But you know what? We're going to hit play, we're going to hit record, and we're going to keep on going. Because one thing is for sure, changing the narrative and as well as pacing yourself are definitely crucial steps in breaking generational trauma. Feels like my 3 favorite words, but actually no, I feel like my favorite word most of all is community, because I've been saying that word, probably my whole lifetime, especially, since the Always Believer started, and then some. But the past 3 months, holy moly, community has definitely come up so many times, so many moments, and it's caught people's eye. But alongside of that is, of course, breaking generational trauma. And I want to dive in a little bit more because it's something that I'm working with me, myself, and I constantly, continuously. My goodness. Because one of the biggest things that I have to do with myself is changing the narrative. In other words, I have to recognize the old story and say bye. Simple as that, right? Could it be that simple? No. But anyways, recognizing the old story is identifying limited beliefs or, harmful patterns that I've either inherited or I've put on myself. Because it's something that happens on a day-to-day basis. Whenever it is, or wherever it is the moment that in your life that you are, the challenges that you're overcoming, the struggle bus that you're in, whatever area in your life, we really got to stop and think about what are those patterns that you want to break. Because it's easier said than done. Because you can easily go I'm just going to do Pilates tomorrow and 3 times a week, and then that's going to, get rid of this, old story victim mode of mine. Or I'm just going to go train actively in a sport, or prepare my voice to sing in public, or just go on with my daily life, or hang out with my friends, or go dancing, or XYZ. Yeah, those are things that do help your mental health, without a doubt, especially the ones where you're really truly believing yourself and seeing yourself shine through and through. And that's why I used a couple of my examples, like singing and acting, and definitely active in a sport. But that doesn't really recognize the old story and identify those limited beliefs. So it's the first thing that you have to do, of course. And that's what I keep doing in certain areas in my life to make sure that I get over the hump, the struggle bus that is those areas. So, as well as that, changing those with definitely vocabulary words, my goodness gracious. Not only let myself feel those feelings and emotions and cry it out, journal it out, write it out, whatever it is, out, vent it out, therapy out, just release as many times as possible, as much as possible, until you're absolutely empty in the best way possible of that. The patterns that you put on top of those or past those are the ones that are going to take true effect. So, for example, of course, apart from affirmations and really, really finding ways to make sure that you love yourself and you take yourself seriously. And that goes with putting boundaries, that goes with speaking nice to yourself, that goes with being disciplined with you, that goes with treating yourself the same way that you treat your best friend. The same way that you treat your pet, like the person you love the most. That's the way that you have to treat yourself. So when all that goes through, basically, we also have to redefine your identity, because you're not your past. This is something that we can definitely apply to changing the narrative. Now, in my particular case, I went from, for example, maybe that victim mode in certain areas of my life to be okay, I am strong, I am capable, I am worthy of doing Pilates 3 times a week, of doing yoga class. My body can move that way, especially after the huge health, not even scare, but the huge health issues I've had for the past 5 years. Goodness gracious, when I'm in that gym and when I'm in that dance class, it takes so much out of me to be okay, maybe I can just quit. Maybe I don't need another repetition. You do, because that's how your story changes. That's how you redefine your identity. And of course, you got to affirm who you want to be, because I do believe and I do love affirmations, and I do have them plastered everywhere I go in whatever shape and way and form, whether that's my phone, whether that's my vision board, whether that is my notes app I was thinking as well, both on whatever messaging app that I'm using, or my little note apps on my phone. And reframe those negative thoughts. So transform thoughts from I'm failing to I'm learning, I'm growing. all that and then some is definitely something that I've been doing for the past few months, and then some. And sometimes even when it feels like the world has gone array, which, I mean, it feels like that every day, but when your personal world is kind of out in the dumps, in the blue, I'm like, okay, let's change the narrative. Maybe I don't go straight into the patterns first because I need to give myself self-love. So I go into affirmations, I go into my cards, I go into things that I've achieved, I go into my win list. And then through there, figure out the patterns that lie to, well, once again, continue changing the narrative so I can break generational trauma along the way, of course. And the last two things I do want to say here is, for sure, is speak life into yourself. And this is a little bit more of the same of like using positive affirmations daily. Like, I am breaking cycles. I am healing. I am enough. Speaking life into yourself is such a powerful and magical thing, and it could happen like literally anywhere at any time. It doesn't have to be meditating. It doesn't have to be first thing in the morning. It could be. It's really good because for your brain to wake up and like start the day that way. But it could be when you're in the supermarket, when you're choosing a healthy snack and you're like, I am capable of eating healthier. When you're out for a run, you're like, okay, I'm capable of running 1 more minute. If you're a beginner, 1 more minute feels like a whole damn hour. So those certain moments of just speaking life into yourself, and once again, really going after your win list, like write that win list, because if you've been around for a while, you know it took me months to write that win list. So you should do so accordingly. Please and thank you, because you're going to see a huge life change once you actually write it down and you see it, and that's how you speak life to yourself. And last but not least, of course, creating new traditions. Foster new family traditions that promote love, safety, joy, instead of repeating the same old ish. You know, so in everything that you're doing moving forward, as soon as you finish listening to this video and seeing a week in my life, of course, actually this was literally footage of one day and a little, because that was a very jam-packed day of, what was it that day? 3 shoots, 1 photo shoot, 1 important meeting, teaching the littles, dance class. So yeah, create those new traditions for you, as you clearly see in these videos that I'm so happy to share with you every single week. Hug tight, love stronger, always believe. How are you making the change for you?